The Roman Empire had many languages due to the changes in emperors and their beliefs. In fact, these languages were enforced like laws, even to those who had come from a land which Rome had recently captured. The fact that these emperors could enforce languages as if they were laws is odd. One day you'd be speaking a certain language, and the next you may be speaking another, and the decision rests upon the emperor. In this documentary, I will feature the three languages that lasted the longest in Rome: Latin, Greek, and Punic. Latin. Latin was the language of the Romans from the earliest known period. Writing under the first Roman Emperor Augustus, emphasis was on the fact that Latin was a source of Roman unity and tradition. In the emperor's epic, Aeneid, which was about the founding of Rome, the supreme deity Jupiter dictates that the refugee Trojans, who have come to settle in Italy, will use the language of the native Latin as a means of unification. They will keep the speech and mores of their fathers, and I will make them all Latins with one mode of expression, said Jupiter. The Julio-Claudian emperors, who claimed descent from the hero Aeneas, encouraged high standards of correct Latin, called Latinitas, a linguistic movement identified in terms as classical Latin, and favored Latin for conducting official business. Koine Greek had become the common language of the Eastern Mediterranean and into Asia Minor after the conquests of Alexander the Great. Lucian even imagines that Greek is the universal language of the dead in the underworld. In late antiquity, a Greek-speaking majority lived in the Greek peninsula and islands, major cities of the east, western Anatolia, and some coastal areas. Greek continued as the language of the Byzantine Empire and developed into a distinctive medieval Greek that gave rise to modern Greek. Koine Greek had become the common language of the Eastern Mediterranean and into Asia Minor after the conquests of Alexander the Great. Lucian even imagines that Greek is the universal language of the dead in the underworld. In late antiquity, a Greek-speaking majority lived in the Greek peninsula and islands, major cities of the east, western Anatolia, and some coastal areas. Greek continued as the language of the Byzantine Empire and developed into a distinctive medieval Greek that gave rise to modern Greek. Punic, the Semitic language of the Carthaginians, continued to be used in North Africa during the imperial period. Before the Roman conquest in 146 BC, nearly all Punic inscriptions had been votives to the deities Tanit and Baal, or funerary commemorations. But during the Roman era, a broader range of content is found in Neo-Punic, often appearing with parallel texts in Latin or Greek. A striking occurrence of Neo-Punic is found at the otherwise thoroughly Roman temple of Roma and Augustus, built 14 through 19 AD at Leptis Magna. One of the latest Neo-Punic inscriptions on a monument dates to the reign of Domitian. No inscription in Punic script on stone can be dated later than the 2nd or 3rd century. Latin script was used to write Punic in the 4th. Punic was spoken at the highest level of society. The emperor Septimus Severus reigned 193 through 211 AD, was born in Leptis Magna and spoke Punic as well as Latin and Greek, while his sister supposedly had little command of Latin at all. Augustine, who was from North Africa, several times mentions Punic. He observed that it was related to Hebrew and Syriac, and his knowledge of Punic helped him figure out transliterated Semitic words from the Bible, 4th and 5th centuries.